Round of 16, match 2.
Up here in the top left in the blue, the Zerg player, this is...
Chivo, SoO.
See those beautiful drone skins on there as well. A little taste of what's to come in the war chest in 9-ish hours.
I'm going to see a little bit of that here from the bottom right. In the red, the Terran player, he is...
Newbie, Time.
I don't think he's a newbie at all. I think he's really good, but... All right. Bold prediction.
Yeah, so... Here we are, this first map, Cyber Forest. It's a little bit smaller than a lot of the maps over here. Of course, we're taking a look at those skins right now, the remote control drones. The drones.
The drones. I wasn't ready for that, Artosis. I wish we talked about that beforehand, and that revelation didn't happen on camera because I kind of got stunned at how correct you are.
Yeah.
Tons of fans out there in the crowd. It was actually packed to the rafters before we even started game 1.
Yeah.
Just ZVZ best of 5 already. You see the Twitch chats blowing up. The crowd here is insane. So the energy here at the Freaka Studio is really lovely, which I'm excited about. Can't wipe the smile off my face, Artosis.
Dude, a lot of people came in for this event. It's such a fun 4 days seeing... This is the All-Star Games of StarCraft 2. There's just really no other way to put it.
It's an unmissable tournament for sure.
So guys, help us spread the word. Let people know.
Yeah.
Because this is really what you should be doing.
I
heard like other esports are happening right now, but I can neither confirm nor deny because this is the only thing I care about at the moment.
I mean, that is basically, you hit the nail on the head there, is that while there may be other esports on right now, they pale in comparison and just not as good. So being very careful here is Time. Scouting with that SCV to make sure that this is a hatch first from SoO. So deciding whether he wants to send that Reaper across the map and try and delay the third or not. So conservative play from Time to begin with. Not every Terran likes to commit the SCV in the early stages of the game and generally relies on the Reaper for scouting.
You know, what we saw from Time on this map against Seoul, because that's really kind of the match everyone's looking at and being like, wow, Time, you really came into your own. Part of his game plan against Seoul was denying that third base that his SCV's at. And look, the drone is going to the other third base.
Yeah, the less comfortable third for a Zerg.
That's right. And what Time did against Seoul, which was very powerful, and he almost won on Cyber Forest, was a continual push up the side of the map to attack that third.
Yeah, that high ground position that you're talking about, Artosis, of course, it happened on the bottom side of the map at Assembly because Serral's spawned in the bottom right here, but that is mirrored on the top side as it generally is in 1v1 maps. So he can use that area. If he wants to go bio-tank here, this definitely is the map for it. There's so many great ledges for tanks, and you also have the other sort of interesting thing to me about Cyber Forest is that you have the high ground attacking into your opponent no matter where you come from generally. So it is like it can sometimes favor being aggressive.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Now, he actually went for a super fast third command center here. So it looks like a little bit more macro-esque play here from Time. Now, he's a very flexible player. We think of him as someone that's very good at like bio-micro, and he's very aggressive and all those things. But he's shown a big range in his play as well, even though not all of it has been as successful as his aggressive bio.
Certainly not. This actually is shaping up to be the kind of opening where it looks like a BC opening from Time. He's got a couple Marines out to try and push back those Overlords. He's tucked away the starport to the bottom right here to make sure SoO does not see the starport, but it's actually going to be a Liberator, so something a little bit different from Time. Don't always see Liberator openings from Terran anymore, so this is really cool to see with that. You know, the BC openings are so popular.
Yeah, they really are. I was actually kind of hoping for them because they're so much fun as well. You know what, just the Hellion plus Liberator, he should be able to get a little bit of harassment done, but how good is SoO's defense going to be? Oh.
Losing that Reaper is a little bit annoying, because that usually helps out your early couple Hellions actually do a little bit better against the Zergs, sort of, you know, the Queens and Lings in the late stage of the game. So.
A sloppy loss there. Hopefully he's not too shaken by that. You're not used to losing your Reaper at this point in the game.
Definitely not. One up with those Hellions. So we are seeing a bio transition here for Time. He's not going to be dropping those extra factions, some extra barracks going down. And SoO, I mean, he is Mr. Roach Warren himself. He's getting some roaches out well timed here to make sure that the Hellions do too much to him. What we're going to keep an eye on here is like, when does SoO stop droning? Because he can just sometimes decide that I want to attack right now.
That's 9 roaches and 6 lings. Like, he is going to attack. There's no question about that. This is not a defensive play from SoO, although it will function as that as well. Time has got to be careful in these 3 command centers. He doesn't have a lot of units at home right now.
No, and the Hellion really is not the unit you want against this kind of composition. The Liberator sort of sieging up in a bit of a weird spot here, not really covering any drones on the map. And the Queen's going to just circle around that Liberation Zone and pull back. Time scrambling. He sees those roaches. He sees the units of SoO coming across the map here. That Liberator definitely going to be very useful at home, even though SoO is making ravages. Oh, this is going to be very hard for Time here. He's going to have a siege tank in a second, but this definitely looks dicey.
This is a lot of units coming across right now for SoO. We're definitely going to have SCVs pulled up to the front to fight and to repair. Now here we go, throwing down those biles, does get rid of that bunker immediately, sets up a beautiful Liberator though.
Yeah, that Liberator putting in a lot of work here, and the tank also gets some great splash damage, getting 2 Ravages right there in the back line, and Time is going to hold on.
He does hold on, but at the cost of 13 SCVs here.
Very expensive.
Yeah, also he didn't get any harassment done or anything like that. It feels like an okay attack there for SoO, you know?
I actually feel like he can continue to poke a little bit here as well, just with maybe the Ravager, but he's only got the 1, so it looks like he's just going to contain on that high ground, go up in a lair, drone up again, and just really sort of exacerbate his economic lead. You know, his 4th base is going to be pretty safe here to take here.
Well, I tell you, if he had done that type of damage and this was a 2 command center play from Time, I'd be really worried for Time, but he definitely can refill those SCVs. He can get his economy rolling still, so maybe not the end of the world, but SoO put him in his place with that first attack.
Definitely. And he's heading up to the 60th drone here, getting rid of that Hellion on the map and just clearing the Terran off the map. 0 map presence for Time here at the moment. Like, this is SoO's map. Cyberforest is all SoO right now. And he's going to go for the Baneling follow-up here, so some Ravager Ling Bane, early stages of the game. Now, SoO has actually shown that, you know, he's getting a couple more roaches here, but he really loves that swarmy style, just going like a lot of Ling Bane, and then just basically relying on a big round army that doesn't really shoot up apart from Ravager Biles until you get to Hive, where he will start to go towards Ultras or Brood Lords.
Yeah, I do love that style, to be honest. I think it's really nice. He has to get the Baneling speed, of course. His creep spread is looking very, very nice at the moment. But, you know, Time is kind of on top of things still. Even though he did lose those SCVs, his 1-1 is coming right up, and he's lining that up with a nice attack, or at least a pressure build here, while landing his 3rd base.
Yeah, this attack has some potential here from Time. He's got medevac support, he's got the bio upgrades kicking in, so plus 1 attack is done for the bio combat shield and +1 armor, not quite done yet, so there's not a ton of hit points in these Marines just yet. They will have it in a second though. Comes forward and he has a few tanks in that lovely position, and he is going to be able to at least get this extractor by the looks of things. And this is a little bit of a tough engagement for SoO. He doesn't have a ton of actual like siege units, and he doesn't have Baneling speed either.
Well, this is Time's bread and butter right here. Look at this micro. It's really fantastic. But SoO going to pull the trigger and go up for the attack. The 2 siege tanks being so valuable here.
Yeah, a lot of Banelings and Lings died there. You're like, yes, the siege tanks are dead, but these Marines are still a big threat to SoO. Once again, without Baneling speed, without a good number of Lings, these Marines can continue to trade, and Time's going to reinforce here from the south, while also going up to the main here with this initial attack.
Yeah, some multi-pronged harassment going on, a double drop into the main base, also sending it over towards the 4th base here of SoO. Let's see if SoO can split his units and defend both well.
This Fork Roll's going to go down for sure on these Lings. It looks like he has enough Lings to actually deal with this Marine Ball. He's being so careful. Oh, lots of drones going down here at that base as well. Potentially a base kill as well if SoO doesn't react quickly. His army is out of position.
Yeah, it's taking a little bit to get through this hatchery. He does drop off into the 3rd base as well. It looks like SoO is starting to hold everywhere, but he loses the hatchery.
Yeah, like I said, if he wasn't going to react quick enough, that was going to go down, and that's a big pickoff for Time. Keep in mind that he's got 3 bases kicking on back at home. He's been making SCVs the whole time as well. He's only down a few workers right now. In fact, he's only down 1.
This is starting to look very nice for Time. Not only is he only down 1, he's on his 3 bases. His 2-2 going to be a little bit late. He just added his armory. Yeah, that's kind of painful, but the thing is, the base that's still left alive is that 3rd base that doesn't have creep up to the high ground that Time loves to attack.
And he's working so hard on making sure that this creep does not get up here for free for SoO. Picks up those Marines, saves every single one of them into that medevac, and his multitasking has been really impressive already in this game. As soon as he has enough medevacs to get that presence out on the map, he is just going to continue to be aggressive here. And he is amassing many tanks here, and also starting Liberator production nice and early as well. There's not really a ton of like tier 3 here from SoO. In fact, his Infestation Pit is just a 3rd of the way done.
Yeah,
so just having these Liberators in the army could actually be quite nice, but it also might be a bit of a detriment.
Yeah, I wonder about that. He's also adding the 2nd factory right now, which is kind of interesting. Like, are we going to see him? Yeah, right? He's kind of getting all that production going. Of course, again, his 2-2 slightly slower than what we'd love to see, but he's playing a strong game.
Certainly. Going toe-to-toe here against one of the greatest Zergs from Korea. And we got Time just still trying to deny creep here and getting that 4th up, so planetary soon here for Time. And yeah, he's on creep cleanup duty. That pre-spread that you love so much from SoO here is really being ruined by Time at the moment with his fire presence.
Yeah,
and target fire on the Banes as well. Still no Baneling speed from SoO. Look at how late that is.
I know, right? It feels like for instance, SoO hit his 2-2 timing very, very well, but other than that, it feels like he's a day late and $1 short, right? He's not protecting his creep. He lost his 4th base. There's harassment all over the place. He's not really punishing anything that Time is doing.
And Time is starting to take a supply lead here. Artosis' army is definitely a lot better. Until Hive is done for SoO, he's not going to have those scary units that really punish the Marines and tanks, like your Ultralisks, like Broodlords and that sort of thing. So this is actually a big window where the Terran is way scarier than the Zerg, even without the upgrades.
This many siege tanks, I am getting a little bit scared right now for SoO. Is he going to be able to hold on? Luckily, he has creeped to that high ground, so it's going to take Time a little bit longer. But look at this, a beautiful liberation zone here at the 4th.
Yeah, I didn't think these Liberators would be too handy in the fight, but they're just being used for harassment here. Speaking of which, SoO coming on top of that 3rd base, doing a lot of damage here. Going to get one of those important factories for Time, that's his siege tank production. But SoO also losing drones on his side of the map to the bio and also the Liberator harassment. SoO coming up here with those Banelings, which finally do have speed. Time splitting his forces as best as he can. Does he have enough to actually hold on? Yes, he does. He keeps one of those tanks alive as well.
There were even some good connections there for SoO, so surprising that he actually lives with that many units left over. The Liberator's still going to work, and Time continues to pressure down on the 3rd.
There's no units here for SoO. That hatchery's in big trouble. Artosis is going to go down, and the 3rd base is being held as well. Time starting to really look good here in this game. More Banelings being target fired down. Here comes the rest of SoO's army from that 3rd base attack. The tank is going to get filed down by the looks of things, but this bio is still so strong, and it's about to have 2-2. Time takes game number 1 against the IM Katowice champion. What a game 1.